on the channel, I'm on the hunt for a little bit of blood and guts with the Shop AEW 1 of 3,000 exclusive, Eddie Kingston.
And the spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
Welcome everyone, Kyle here, and welcome back to the channel for another AEW Unrivaled unboxing and review. And today on the channel, we got the Shop AEW 1 of 3,000 exclusive of the Mad King himself, Eddie Kingston. But for all your Eddie Kingston needs, make sure you hit up Ringside Collectibles. Use discount code Kyle. Save yourself 10%. But for this Eddie Kingston, Shop AEW was the place to get him, and I believe he is out of stock as of right now. I don't think he's going back in stock either. But this is a pretty cool one. A lot of these Shop AEW ones have been a little sketchy, to be honest. Throwing in a shirt really doesn't feel like a whole lot of difference than different packaging. Well, this one, different packaging, different shirt, and some blood. So I'm here for this. Sign me up for this all day long and twice on Sunday. Yes, you heard it here first, twice on Sunday. But I am here for this. I did order 2 of these, one to mint on card, one to unbox. One came minty mint. This one's got a couple of dings on it. Couldn't have worked out better. I'm opening this one up anyways. So that's what we're going to do right here. And of course, we're going to do this review like we do all the other reviews on the channel. We're going to take a look at the packaging. We're going to talk about it. We're going to unbox it. We're going to talk about it. We're going to see where it goes from there. So without further ado, see what old Eddie Kingston is up to. Eddie Kingston, a guy I knew of. It wasn't a massive fan of. I guess he was just kind of there for me, but man, he's caught fire the last year, maybe 2 years. What is time once again with Eddie Kingston over in AEW, and I'm a pretty big fan at this point. I do enjoy his work and definitely enjoy a little blood and guts, as I did say. So this one's playing a lot of hits for me here, but you do got the 1 of 3,000 sticker on the package, big bubble window, unrivaled style packaging for the most part. There's some twists and turns here. Eddie looking good down here, unrivaled at the bottom. On the side, number 9, as far as Shop AEW exclusives go. Wish ringside exclusives and store exclusives were labeled like this instead of just thrown in the big batch, is what it is at this point. But we get a little Eddie Kingston on the side over there. That's something different. All Elite Wrestling on this side. And then the back, he's a bloody mess. Look at that. Just a mess there for old Eddie Kingston. Looking good. I believe he was wearing a Yankee shirt. Was he not wearing a Yankee shirt for this? And it's kind of blurred out. Obviously, copyright reasons, things like that. It does come with his gas tank or his gas can. That's always good. You always want one of those. Eddie Kingston autograph on the box. Watch AEW, Dynamite, and Rampage. Can we watch Collision too? Is that allowed? I'm sure they'll get that on there eventually. But without further ado, gonna get old Eddie Kingston out of the package here. See what's going on. See, dare I say, what all the fuss is about. That's a bad cut on the back of his head. He's got a bad puncture wound back there. You gotta be careful. You gotta be careful out there. You never know. A bloody match is just a move away, really, at the end of the day. But we're going to get old Eddie Kingston. And as I start unboxing figures, I've said this before on the channel, but I start doing the moving and the shaking and the moving of the packaging around. My dogs always lay right here, and they look up. They're like, uh-oh, we got to get out of here. And they run around the corner because they don't want any piece of a see you later. They took a wayward see you later one time, and it went south in a hurry. See you later. But they went upstairs. They said, we don't want any of that, and I don't blame them. And there it is, old Eddie Kingston looking good in the plastic prison. Not a ton of accessories with this one. I guess he's like a young Chris Candido. Dare I say, no gimmicks needed? Well, you could argue that point. See you later, goodbye. As there's a few gimmicks with this one, as you guys can see, with, of course, the gas can and the blood and all that. And let's start with the gas can accessory. First time, last time in the line, we'll see. But a first time in the line accessory looking good here. I think he was on his way to fill up his mower, I think is exactly what he was going to do. He ran out of gas in his mower, he needed one of this, or he was going to set somebody on fire. Bad day doing that. But this does look really good. It's a gas can at the end. And this is one of those ones, all the accessories will be on the figures. So you don't have any baggies or anything like that. But this does look good. All in red. You know exactly what that is. But now we get down to old Eddie Kingston himself. And he's not going to stain with a white shirt, that's for sure. But he's got a very, very bloody shirt. Looking like a tough day at the office with this shirt. It does say Kingston right there on the front. Like I said, I think it said like Brooklyn or New York Yankees or something like that before. So it does look a little different, but we can look past that. We've seen that in the past as well. This thing always strikes me with Eddie Kingston. He's got some big old traps. He's been working shrug day extra hard. He's been doing two-a-days on the shrugs because he's got such big, mountains back there. It always looks a little strange in his figures. Obviously, we've seen this figure 2 times before, most recently with the Walmart exclusive line. So it's our 3rd Eddie Kingston figure in less than a year. So things coming up Eddie Kingston, but this is going to be my favorite. There's no way around it. Love all the blood all over the shirt, looking good. You got blood all over the arms, on the fingers, like he was just, doing a little finger painting with some blood as well. He's got it on the fingers, looking nice. Black pants going on, black boots. Pretty much the Eddie Kingston we see from the lower half. He should have a little bit of blood on his pants, but he does not. But it's all over his arms, of course, and I bet we take this shirt off. Of course, just classic Velcro t-shirt. We've seen these kind of things before. He's got his singlet on underneath, and he's just bleeding all over the front of there, too. It looks like he's bleeding out of his neck, even. And I do like the attention to detail here. They got a little blood on the back of his head, which is pretty cool. And then, of course, the blood on the face. He's got the mean mugging face, and you would, too, if you were bleeding like he is. You got the white wrist tape on both hands. Blood on the wrist tape always looks really good as well. But besides that, articulation, everything else going to be just like we see with these AEW figures. Really, you take the blood away, it's basically the Eddie Kingston we saw in the past. But it makes sense, it's cool, this works for me. This is perfect reuse, if you ask me. But his arms do go all the way around. You get a bicep cut. Double jointed elbows, hands back forward, side to side. Of course, hands removable. Hula hoop at the top, traditional waist as well. Those big Eddie Kingston gymnast splits, of course, got to have those. Leg goes up. Double jointed knees, boot cut, ankles back forth, side to side, up and down as well. And then you do get the head, of course. It is removable, back forth, side to side. Head is a little bit small for the body. When I look at the head and kind of the shoulders and stuff, he reminds me a little bit of a Corpse Grinder from Cannibal Corpse. Any of you guys ever know anything about Cannibal Corpse? I really don't. I'm not a big fan of that era of death metal or that extreme death metal, and I'm just not my thing. It just never has. I've been a new wave British heavy metal and a thrash metal guy in all points in between, but not a lot of the death metal. But he's got a little of that Corpse Grinder going on there with the neck and everything. Shout out to Corpse Grinder. I'm a big fan of the channel, I'm sure. But looking good here as far as Eddie Kingston. I just love all the blood all over this. And I know not everybody loves all the Jazzwares stuff, but one line from Jazzwares I do love is the blood and guts. While this is officially not a blood and guts figure, I think it could be grandfathered in. I think it's right there. It makes a lot of sense for me, at least. And, of course, he will fit on a ringside stand, hopefully. Well, what do you know? Fits on the AEW ringside collectible stand. Looking good, but, more blood and guts. I'm here for more blood and guts figures. I love this kind of stuff. It's something your competition, Mattel, of course, is not doing. I think they should really take this and run with it. Obviously, there's a little bit more blood in AEW than there is in WWE, so I think there's opportunity for more of these figures, maybe more often than just the blood and guts wave from Ringside Collectibles. But Eddie looking good here, and of course, got the 2 other Eddies, the original edition and the Walmart edition, 2 Eddie Kingstons, riding hard right here at the table. But we're not done. I brought all the blood and guts friends out. I don't know if I can get them. I should have probably put them all on stands. But, of course, you got CM Punk, MJF, 2 amazing ones. The CM Punk is easily, I think at this point, my favorite blood and guts figure we've received so far. So we got those 2. You got to get Cody Rhodes, of course, good friend of the channel, Cody, and his brother Dustin. That was the one that set it all off. We love that blood and guts one. Of course, we got Britt Baker. You got to have her blood and guts. We got Thunder Rosa. Oh, my gosh. Shout out to San Antonio, Texas, and Thunder Rosa. Won't stand up either. And then, of course, Moxley, one of the greatest bleeders of this generation. Nothing standing up here. And Kenny Omega, which I think is a very underrated blood and guts figures, is Kenny Omega. So a lot of blood and guts figures here from the Jazzwares team. And like I said, keep them going. I'm here for all the blood and guts. Give me all the blood and guts. I'll buy every single one of them. Had to get Double Up Club member on all these as well. I just think it is such a fun line. And would love to see it continue. We'll see what happens in 2024. I'm sure we're due for an announcement for a Blood and Guts ringside in the future. But Eddie Kingston, one of the best Shop AEW exclusives we've received so far. Very happy to have this in the collection. We'll see what's next for that line as well very, very soon. So there it is, Shop AEW Bloody Eddie Kingston. What are your guys' thoughts? Is this a pickup, a pass, a long game, the dreaded no game? Let me know your thoughts on Eddie Kingston Bloody Edition in the comments down below. Of course, you made it this far. Don't forget to like the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Turn on the old notification bells. We got videos every single day and then some. We got even more content for you, of course, over on Patreon. Patreon, the best place to support this very YouTube channel and all the content it brings, is we got all kinds of stuff over there. bonus stuff as well. You can also support the channel at ProWrestlingTees.com. Search Kyle Peterson. Don't forget social media. SirPaul64 on the X, _Kyle_Peterson on Threads, and on Instagram. So for Eddie Kingston and Blood and Guts everywhere, I'm Kyle. See you guys all real soon.